Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. I am JaiDei Jackson. I am a licensed professional counselor, and today we will be talking about letting them grow. We have to let them go so that they will grow. And what I'm referring to is that favorite time of year where our students are preparing to graduate either from high school or college. And this can be a very emotionally charged or mentally charged or both time of the year for parents because if they're just getting ready to leave high school or soon to be leaving high school, depending upon what part of the country you live in. I live in the South, so May is the end of the school season here. And so students are preparing to walk across that stage and go into what we consider young adulthood and they consider being grown. And of course, when we think about these young these young ones, we wonder, are they ready? A lot of us will say they don't have a clue, they're not even ready. However, for them, they're ready. They're like, I got this, I can do this, let me do this, leave me alone. You're micromanaging me. So, what is it that you can do? How do you, as a parent or a primary caregiver, begin to prepare them for what is to come? Well, the first thing that you can do is acknowledge that to yourself that you've given them as much as you can at this point in time. And you don't have to give them everything and all that they will need. As a matter of fact, you can't give it all to them because you're not really aware of what they will encounter as they go throughout their life journey. But you need to know that you have given them some tools. You've given them some strategies and some techniques that will then begin to prepare them for living life. The thing that you have to remind yourself of is that experience is going to be a teacher for them as well. And sometimes experience is going to be the best teacher. And I know we do not want to see our loved ones suffer, struggle. However, that's how they learn how to persevere. That's how they learned to have some bounce back by going through some adversity, by going through some challenges, by going through some difficulties. It is not our job to keep them from having disappointments. Our job is to prepare them to deal with disappointment. Our job is to prepare them to know that this is just a temporary setback and not forever. And that sometimes the things that happen to us can define us, but it's up to us in terms of how it defined us. Those are some of the things that we can begin to help them understand as they prepare for this next phase of their life. Also, we have to be reminded of if they're running toward life, that's a good thing because what they're saying to themselves is, I am ready for this. And it's better to have them be ready for it than to have them afraid, a little timid about life. Sometimes that's how change comes about. When they are ready, then they are ready to embrace. Now, we as adults who have had way more life experience than they have, if they're only 17, between 17 and 19, or if they're graduating from college, they might be 21, 22. We have more life experience than they do. However, it's their life experience is not to be discounted. Their life experience is still to be celebrated and not to be dismissed. So, one of the things that you can do as they begin to embark on this new path is to move from advising to asking questions, to begin to get them to think, to begin to get them to process information. Instead of solving the problem and fixing it for them, the goal is for them to figure out how can they problem solve, how can they fix it. And there's more than one solution to any problem. We tend to think that we have the solution and it is the best solution or the only solution. And the thing that we want to be mindful of is the solution that they come up with will be based upon what they think and realize is their strength and their weaknesses. And we may not be aware of what their strengths are or their weaknesses are from their perspective. As a parent or a caregiver, we see them as these really wonderful, talented, smart individuals. However, they still within themselves feel that they're lacking something, and it's going to take them going through something to help them build their self confidence. It's going to take them going through life experiences to let them know that they have what it takes. Encourage them. Remind them that you believe in them, that you have faith in them, and that you know that they're going to do all right. The next thing there is for you to do is to begin to be a resource. Remind them that you are there for them. It's not about kicking them out and say, all right, I done my job. Yeah, you're on your own. No, they still need you as a parent, but your role is going to shift with them. They're going to need more encouragement. They're going to need, I know you got this. I believe in you as they go through life. They're going to need to be able to come to you and know that they're not going to be lectured, shamed, humiliated, or guilted. They want to know that you are a person that they can depend upon to hear what they're going through and then respond with, I know that you can figure this out. So, some of the ways that you can encourage them in terms of the questions is what are your plans for whatever it is? What are your plans for a job? Or what are your plans for paying off your student loan? Or what are your plans for moving back home or getting an apartment? I don't know what it is, but begin to ask them what are their plans. And sometimes they may not have a plan. And then that's to help them to begin to know that they need to begin to start planning versus you going, well, I knew that you did. And you just don't think about anything. You don't think ahead. No, this is once again, your job is to help them to begin to see life after college or life after high school. And this also goes for those young ones who will be taking a gap year or they're not going to college and they're going to go straight into working. You will need to begin to create some expectations for your children because for them, they're like, I'm an adult now. You can't tell me what to do. And we know that an adult means you can really have your own place. You can pay your own bills. You don't really need to rely upon anyone. In their mind, 18 means I get to do and say and go as I please. And what you really need to do is have a conversation with them and say, these are the expectations. And so sometimes it's about teaching them how to prepare for adulthood. In other words, if you've been that parent that has paid for everything, then you need to begin to let them know that life is not free. We all know that you have to pay for stuff. And so if they're on your cell phone plan, you may want to begin to have them take over some of those responsibilities, those financial responsibilities. It could be if they're on your um, auto insurance is beginning to explain to them how some of this stuff work. Here's a little short story. I didn't know that you had to pay for water. I didn't realize this until I got my first home that water wasn't free. And the reason I didn't know this is that my parents didn't talk to me about what it costs to run a household. Now, there are some things that I knew that you did have to pay for, like this is when you had a landline. So I knew a landline, you had to pay for that. But I didn't know. I thought water was free. Who would have thought that you had to pay for water? So I say that to say there are things that we think our children might know that they may be clueless about because as an adult, as a parent, those are some of the things that we actually begin to handle for them. For us, we don't want them to stress. We want them to be able to focus on their schoolworks and what it means to be a child. However, it's about preparing them for the next phase. So it's not about burdening them. It's not about overwhelming them. It's just about preparing them for what's next. I know that you can do it. You have gotten them this far. Congratulations, mom and dad, for being the parent that they need. I also want to give shout outs to those foster parents, those adopted parents, those aunts and uncles and cousins and next door neighbors and good friends, everyone who have contributed to a child getting to the next stage. I also want to give my shout out to teachers. You have also been wonderful, and school counselors. Everyone has contributed to this next generation of children moving into adulthood and being the productive citizens that we know that they are capable of being. And I also want to say congratulations to my seniors and my college seniors and my high school seniors. Woohoo! Go! Get out there. Make your parents and your loved ones proud. Make your family proud. Put your stamp on society. You got this. Once again, I am JaiDei Jackson, and thank you for listening.